Morning, folks. Just talked with my older brother, and he looks better than I do. He's stronger than I am. Um, yeah, he said some other things too, and he's bragging on the phone, which I can't repeat here, okay? There are definitely going to be ladies watching this, but I joked with him and told him, yeah, anyway, what can we say? We men always make the same boast and the same claim. Thank God we don't back it up. Look, I I think we're all in one heck of a net on this planet. We're all stuck here together. And you can't separate out the evil ones very easily because the roots are intertwined. And the only thing you can do is judge the tree by its fruit. You got to look at their behavior and their actions. Yahshua came only for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Sorry, but that's the way it is. I had to ask a question. What about the house of Judea? Well, it includes that. There are times in the Bible when it talks about the house of Israel, and it's just the northern 10 tribes, or the house of Judah, rather. It's 3 tribes, whatever they had down there at the time. It fluctuated a little bit. Probably fluctuated at the top too. But the main thing is that sometimes both were called Israel. Lost sheep of the house of Israel. Got to understand that the people that are over there are different, and they'll tell you that they're the master race. Yeah. Go look at their words. They'll tell you that they're the master race, and they're supposed to kick the shit out of the rest of us, and they're supposed to, that the rest of us are human excrement. Okay? Well, I don't mind being human excrement. Don't like it much in many ways. I get hurt quite a bit, get kicked quite a bit, but I just want to let you know that we are in some uncharted territory. Now, supposedly these folks have got it all charted out, and I guess we've got it charted in the Bible. Seriously, you got to read it if you want to find that out. I can't read it for you. The Spirit speaks to each one of us differently, and my spirit's been pretty puny lately. I had a can of whoop ass pulled on it recently, so I'm not feeling real strong. But I'm making a short video to you today to encourage you. You got to be careful. The information that's coming out is fast and furious. It is wild. And we have got new street lights on this street. And hell if I know what they're about. Could be weapons for all I know. I mean, the guy keeping the grounds here said that, what can I say? He and I are in agreement. They're trying to harm us. They're trying to hurt us. You got to understand, these guys wage war by deception, art of deception, and they're really good at that. I don't know about you, but I'm leaning into the faith. If there's a glitch in the matrix, so be it. It lets us out. I didn't make this matrix. I'm not responsible for it. I got to do what I can do. We got to do what we can do, right? Because we're men. I don't like getting older, more vulnerable. I am going to go about my day and take care of my needs, my business. That's all I can say. Hopefully I'll get to have a few good meals today and enjoy those. I'm not going to be eating as much food as I used to eat. I walk into the store. I've been saying this for years. I see nothing but poisons. And then I got to walk to the real food, which is usually in the back of the store. So they make it as convenient and as easy as they can. Just like the apps on the phone. They make it as easy and convenient as they can. And they hit me with 2 updates 2 days in a row. What the hell are they resetting my phone for? I guess it's Galaxy 13 now, boys and girls. Boy, that's a magic number, is it not? Israel had 13 tribes. Got to remember, Joseph's boys were adopted. So, I guess you could say 14 tribes. Depends on how you want to count it. But, The United States of America started with 13 colonies. And it's just a bunch of colonies today, actually, under that guy over at the seas. And this British authority we have ruling over us, the bar associations, their whole claim to fame and avoiding getting kicked to the curb so that we can return to constitutional rule, that document, according to Eustace Mullins, is under lock and key in Great Britain. And that would be the handwritten notes from the state of Virginia's legislative session in which they ratified the 13th Amendment, which made it illegal for Lincoln to hold the office, by the way. And in case you're wondering, I think it was at the New York Stock Exchange, or maybe it was in one of the banks, at the time of the Lincoln presidency. I wasn't there, but so I was told. They had 2 oil paintings hanging up side by side at this place on display. You know who one was. One was Abraham Lincoln, the president. Okay, take some money to have an oil painting done back then. They didn't just take pictures. It was labor intensive. You had to pay the artist. And guess who was hanging up beside him? Mordecai Levi, who you might recognize as Karl Marx, his famous pen name. Side by side. Why was that? Were they related? Were they twins? Were they brothers? What was with the origins of those 2 boys that they ended up being so famous? I know I'm not supposed to say boys because I get accused by the blacks of being racist then. Yeah, right. I'm sorry. I said it. Not really sorry, folks. I just am getting tired of this bullshit that's going around. And, the courts are something else these days. I think that in order to return to constitutional rule, well, as one of my buddies says, I wonder what the attorneys are going to do for work once we return to constitutional rule. I don't care. I just don't care. I'm sure the legal minds will sort it out and figure it out, but I want to return to the original 13th Amendment. The 14th, what was his name? Donald Livingston. Same first name as Donald Trump. Donald Livingston at an institute in, I think it's South Carolina or North Carolina. Man, his lectures are good. The man really knows his stuff. And he'll tell you the real cause of the Civil War as best he can. There's probably something beyond what he knows, but the fact is that it wasn't what we thought it was. So we're here. We might as well talk about Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was a very unique man in history, not just in the United States of America. Well, for one, he was a descendant of the Rothschilds. I believe he was a grandson of one of the Rothschilds. And his father, we only know his father's name because he mentioned it in a will. And his name in the will was A. Springs. And the land left to him was massive. Matter of fact, I think that's a lot of government agencies and projects and all kinds of stuff on that estate these days. It was in the northwest corner of Alabama. It's at Huntsville, Rocky Shoals, or Blue something or other. There's some music stuff out of that area too. That was Abraham Lincoln's estate that he got from his father, A. Springs. Now, I just took a guess that Springs was short for Springsteen. You know, like the boss, Bruce Springsteen, who hates America. If you listen to his lyrics, he cusses us and curses us and condemns us all the time. I don't like his music much anymore. I don't like much of anybody's music because they weaponized it, tuned it to the wrong scales, the wrong frequencies. So I tune into some stuff, and there's some stuff I like as they tuned it down a half a step. Yeah, I mean, there's some famous guitar players. I play guitar, and I wasn't famous, but they all tuned down a half a step, and it was more in the natural range. It was far more soothing, far more melodious, less less equal tempered tuning has got limitations to it. And so we'd bend the notes, would make sure it was just intonation. We would take those notes right up, and we could do different things with those, but I don't play anymore. Yes, his last name was shortened from Springsteen. Apparently, this is one of those famous dalliances that the Rothschilds, well, even Jefferson, I guess, was famous for in a way. But basically, I think he had an affair with a maid and produced a child. Um, I don't know if it was Springs himself or if there was another generation in the middle there. But I looked up this particular woman on the internet, Pessoa, because I heard that they were the big family over here. That this was the heir of Marie Antoinette that was hidden and smuggled out here to the United States of America. And this woman had an internet blog site. She wrote about her family, and I sent an email to her. I never heard from her, but anyway, she wrote about Abraham Lincoln. Of course, as we all say, if it's on the internet, it's got to be true, right? Oh no. So don't hold me to it. You go look it up for yourself. But Abraham Lincoln was a member of the Bar Association and not qualified to be president. He knew it. So what did he do about it? Well, he took the oath of office. There's a woman in Big Lake up the road here a little ways. She's a Judge Anna von Ritz. She thinks that he took the oath to be president under the corporation that Ben Franklin started by mistake. I don't know. Makes sense to me. Does it make sense to you? My thinking is Anna might be right. She's got some sort of a judge thing out of the doggone Vatican. I don't really like that. I don't really like that religion much, honestly. Good people, yeah. Massively good rank and file, good people around the world. Are they led properly? Well, you look at that Pope today and you tell me. Looked like a clown show to me. Very colorful. Very nice colors and very well organized. And he's going to bless same-sex unions, I guess. As long as we don't call it marriage. Well, that's kind of interesting because he's right. It's kind of splitting words in a certain sense, but he's right. The definition of marriage is between a man and a woman, so I don't know what to say. Abraham Lincoln had another interesting thing about him. But he was extremely tall. I think he had a pretty weird voice, and he had a concave chest, and he's kind of a gangly fellow. I guess he stood up about half a foot taller than most other people. And put a top hat on that, mind you. And how tall do you think he was? I bet he was about 7 feet tall. He was a 3-in-1 race man. 3-in-1. I want to think of that 3-in-1 oil that used to be marketed a long time ago. He was 3 different races. Okay? He was, part African American, part black, Negro. I prefer to say Negro or black. You want to say African American, it doesn't fit real good. And besides that, I don't like hyphenated American stuff much at all. And he also was American Indian, Native American, which I don't know what fits anymore for names, folks, honestly. And then he also was part white or Jewish. You tell me. I don't know. I mean, I'm no expert on this stuff. But he was all 3-in-1. And he was extremely conflicted, which I think may have been due to that, or it could have been due to everything else in his life. His wife was addicted. I guess it's opium, laudanum. I don't know what it was, but she was addicted to opium somehow. And her dope dealer was John Wilkes Booth. Oh, yeah. Her dope dealer. Good Lord. Anyway, Abraham Lincoln, he fought the Civil War. He deceived the whole country, sent the troops down to Fort Sumter and armed it in the middle of the night. And Fort Sumter was not a military fort. It was a tariff station, I believe. It was a customs station. So that's where the duties were collected. Anyway, I don't want to go down too many rabbit holes. The main thing is that Abraham Lincoln did not think the races were compatible. And he died. The night he died, there was an unsigned executive order on his desk. I'm going to guess it was the Resolute desk. I don't take care of history very well. I try too many details, too much information. But on his desk, he left an unsigned. That's what my buddy told me from another article a while back. Executive order. He thought the races were not compatible, and he was ordering the repatriation of blacks to a country, I guess in Africa, Monrovia or something like that, that we had founded over there specifically for the purpose of receiving these folks. We were going to give them their own country, and not only that, he was going to give them gold and silver to take back there with him. I don't know. You check it out. You let me know. So, he never did get to sign that act. Otherwise, the blacks would have been totally out of the country. I don't know how you feel about that. I feel conflicted myself about that. Come to think of it, Abraham Lincoln was conflicted. He also had Marsden syndrome, gangly legs and gangly arms, and a concave chest, and running on the depressive side. It's just the way it was. And his wife, I think they actually had some certification of lunacy, is what they called it back then. There was some court certification saying that she wasn't competent or wasn't in her right mind. I don't know what the state of the art was in mental health, medicine, or the law at that point in time. It might have been more accurate than what we practice today, for all I know. So Abraham Lincoln overwrote the 13th Amendment, causing us a lot of trouble. He also started the Civil War, as far as I can tell. Now, I wasn't there. I didn't wear that man's boots. I walked in his shoes one bit. I don't know what was really going on. I do know that there's all kinds of finger pointing all over the place in that. So you might want to look into that some more. But Abraham Lincoln was your first black president, your first Native American president, and your first Jewish president. How's that fit you? If I'm wrong, go ahead, put it in the comments. No, I know. I'm hoping I'm giving you proper information. I'm hoping I'm helping you in some way. I recommend reading the Bible. I'm going to keep recommending that. I recommend cultivating the Holy Spirit. Of course, we're being played and manipulated in so many ways that at some point that's all we're going to have to defend ourselves with the way these folks are handling the society. We are in prison. It's an electronic prison. I'm talking into my personal electronic leash. My droid. Yeah. Amazing, isn't it? And there's galaxies inside of this thing. And they are doing their best to screw with us. These guys come from the Tower of Babel and beyond that. I think they've been on the planet about 70,000 years myself. I don't really know. They've been through several Earth ages. Of course, humans have survived those Earth ages too, but I think those sons of a bitches do their best to send us off before the Earth age so that there's less of us and more of them. they don't like the odds when they come digging out of their holes. I think the Bible says this time they get a little different comeuppance kind of thing. But let's see what happens. I mean, I have no choice but to take this ride with the rest of you. I do want to get out of the cities. I don't trust the electronic pollution, the prison walls, in case, or the guards, the towers, if you want to know where they are. They're not up in the air, although those cell towers are up in the air, and they should have been buried underground. From what I just read, that they should have been grounded, as they're put up in the air because they're more dangerous that way. Okay. You got the data farms sucking down all that juice, all that power. That's right. And that data mining, all that computerization that's going on is helping to screw with us all. They can predict, and they can interfere with your life a little bit of a distance. I mean, in my case, I don't know. I got a court thing in Texas. Didn't go my way. Okay. I'm going to write a letter about the Bar Association member. Am I expecting them to do anything about it? Oh, hell no. They're going to rubber stamp it and approve it because they'll all be jealous. He got so much money out of me. They'll be proud of him. And I got this thing going on in New Hampshire. I'll get the letters off. I think that their bar member there helped set this whole damn thing up. I mean, I just don't know what else to say. They can do whatever they want. And with the stuff I got, the documents do not make sense to me. And it says I'm not going to get any more documents, too. Which means I'm never going to be able to make sense out of it the way they've conducted this thing now. I don't know what to say. I may lose there, too. Okay. Losing real big there, I guess. I don't really know. They never have to put their cards on the table. They never have to show anything in their hand. And I think their hand is much bigger. But they also have got a couple of problems. They got a couple of stocks out there they got 3 stocks. One of them hasn't been doing very good. And another one's about to take a crap on them. And the other one, I would imagine that's going to go down as well. But who the hell knows? I mean, they go to war because it's good for the stock market. The people that are deceiving us in Israel, not the Jews that proper, heavens forsake, no. Some of them are members of the house of Israel. Yeah. But the Jews there ruling the roost, the ones that founded that place and the ones that rule it, oh yeah, they'll tell you who they are. They'll tell you that they're the master race and the rest of us are supposed to lick their boots and wait on them and whatever the hell else. I mean, that right there is a real pisser to me because they got away with nailing that to somebody else's ass last time. Talk about pinning the tail on the donkey. They pinned it pretty good on you-know-who. And I know they don't like mentioning his name. That would flag me so fast right now. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, well then, I'm sorry. I can't tell you. All I can tell you is they wage war by art of deception. It's not even deception. It's art of deception. It is like medicine is an art. Yes. Medicine is an art. It's not a science. I like them apples. Medicine's an art, not a science. That's right. They don't train them up in the scientific method. They train them up in the art. Look, I don't know about you, but this feels pretty real to me. Feels pretty dire. And I think we all need to protect ourselves. I mean, taking out those doggone data farms wouldn't be a bad idea. Cutting the cord, they take too much power. The rest of us could have cheap energy, damn near free. Don't believe this free bullshit. Tesla was a damn eugenist as well. He wanted to get rid of a bunch of us. Matter of fact, from what I can read, he actually killed a bunch of people with one of his tornadoes one time and didn't give a rat's ass about them. So you can bet Tesla gave them the technology so they could do this shit to the rest of us right now. You know, the biggest gun in the world, as far as I can tell, is probably at the South Pole in Antarctica. Raytheon has that one. And it's down there because they can use the entire magnetic field, electromagnetic field of this planet for a power source. Imagine how much, whatever energy it is, electricity, frequency, imagine how much the whole planet, generates. I don't know about flat Earth. I'm just telling you one way to think of it, but you got to remember there's many layers to this onion. Many. So I don't know what number this is. This has got to be 89 or 90. And I feel like I'm getting old at this point. I need your help. Yahweh needs your help. We need to do what we can, And unfortunately, people are going to be bamboozled. And a lot of that stuff that we don't like reading about is going to be happening. Anybody who can take down some of the data farms or and I realize why it's going to be a dark night. Because people are going to realize they got to pull the plug. They got to stop this machine. So they're going to tear it up. I don't think it's necessary. I think you just go after the towers and make them bury those sons of a bitches. Or, better yet, make sure that they don't have the big power supplies on them anymore. I don't trust that either. I don't know what I would set up on that. I just as soon get rid of the Patriot Act, the data mining, data farming, whatever it is, the sale of our data, the use of that by different agencies in the background. Talk about a Stasi, a secret police. Yeah, and there was a Holocaust, folks. 60 million Christians were killed by the Bolsheviks in Russia. 60 million. Let that sink in. These people are experts, often other people. They're experts at genociding. They are wicked. And the plans I've heard of just scare the bejesus out of me. And of course, it's very sloppy thinking, very loose in many ways. It's just not quite right. So I'm relaxing. I hope you get a chance to relax a bit today and enjoy the day. There's no telling how much we have left here for any of us. I look forward to a few more people watching the videos. But I think we need to be cautious, folks. Because some of what I read in there I don't care much for. The hunting us down part is the part I don't like reading in there. But I also know that the Spirit is about all we got to protect us with now. This is going to come crumbling down. Hopefully the walls they put up for us, those electric penitentiaries, this net, this trap, the snare they've laid for us, hopefully we catch them in it instead of them catching us in it. Yeah, the thing that's going on in Israel was set up by Benjamin Netanyahu, or at least he went along with his master's orders, let's put it that way. And so this is one of those things that they're pulling, again, because they love the war machine, because they get to make more money off us, and they get to sacrifice our blood to the gods that they worship. I mean, I remember that statement by that fellow who they killed a while back, who let us know about 9/11 before it happened. They believe in this stuff. It doesn't matter what you believe or I believe. They believe in this stuff. And I think even Hillary or her twin or look-alike, whatever the hell they got out there, said something about um, the more they sacrifice to their gods, the more human blood they sacrifice to their gods, the better the technology or the payoff or something was to them. So don't hold me to it. You got to go mine the stuff for yourself while this internet is still up. Get yourself your paper books together. Find a nice safe spot. Get out of the damn cities, because they're pressure cookers, and they're cookers in other ways too. I don't trust this electromagnetic stuff. I don't trust Tesla and his frickin' inventions. Why should I? And you guys are running around thinking Tesla wanted free energy for the earth. You got to look into what he did. The longest, most sustained tornado in history traveled a straight line. A long time ago. That bald spot on the earth up there in Siberia still doesn't grow anything, does it? That's Tesla's technology. This damn telescope of a gun down there in Antarctica. They hit Christ Church a few times. I think they hit it twice, claiming it was by accident. That's Tesla technology doing an earthquake. Folks, there's no telling what that technology is capable of. Yahweh bless.